get it.
Yeah!
What a glorious moment! Welcome back to MSG PM. That was the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers on Selection Sunday when they found out they would be a 10 seed in the NCAA Tournament taking on number 7, Clemson. Kaz, now it's time for your favorite part in the show.
Monica, is my favorite part because I love bringing people over to the crib, and no better guest to have tonight than head coach of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights himself, Coach Steve Pikiell. Coach, how you feeling, man? Welcome to MSG PM.
Well, I'm glad to be on. I'm feeling great. We're here in Indianapolis. We've been here since the Big Ten tournament ended. Really excited about Sunday, Selection Sunday, getting a chance to play in March Madness. Last year was a tough ending to our year last year, having the tournament canceled. And, you know, I'm very thankful the NCAA has put this together and have kept us safe. And we look forward to tipping off tomorrow night at 9:30.
Now, Coach, I don't know if you heard, but MSG AM and PM have had some good luck because when you came here last time, you called your shot, and now you're going to the big dance. So you mentioned it before. I'd love to get your thoughts on just how, you know, it was a little disappointing last year having the tournament canceled, but now you're back in it. First time since 1991. How are you feeling? How's the team feeling?
You know, I think the team's feeling great. I mean, it was a long year, and not only were you fighting all the teams in our conference, but you're fighting COVID too, all season long. You know, but our guys did a great job fighting the opponents and fighting COVID. We never had any stoppage. We never had any cancellation. We played every game this year, and I think our guys are very, you know, loose right now. They're very excited about, you know, tipping it off tomorrow night, and we're really excited about playing another opponent after going through 22 league games in the best league in the country.
Now, Coach, over that league run, 22 league games, in January, there was a 5-game skid, but you've got terrific leaders on your squad, and upperclassmen, Geo Baker, Jacob Young, Miles Johnson. What did you see from those guys and your team that got you guys through the rest of the year and off of that losing streak?
Well, I tell you what, they showed, you know, a lot of toughness, and they got back to playing Rutgers basketball, which is defending and rebounding. You know, that stretch was tough. We played 4 ranked teams out of 5 games. We had some injuries. You know, we had a stretch there where we weren't playing our best basketball, but we got back up off the mat, and we continued to fight. We had some great wins, you know, down the stretch, exciting wins. Guys started to get really healthy, and, you know, really basketball team right now moving into March Madness.
Now, you talked about the upperclassmen, but Ron Harper Jr. has been making a whole lot of noise throughout the entire country. A little bit more than his dad lately, even after The Last Dance. So, you know, who would have saw that coming? But tell me what it's like coaching a kid, what an incredible father who's accomplished so much in the NBA, and now seeing him going on to his first NCAA tournament.
Well, I tell you, he's got incredible parents. His dad obviously was a great player. His mom was a great player too. But they're just great people. Ron has improved every year. He scored his 1,000th point in our last basketball game as a junior. The great part of Ron is his teammates love him, and he's a really good student too academically. So he does a lot of great things for us both on and off the court. And I still believe too his best days in basketball are still ahead of him, which is scary.
Coach, the Big Ten this year has been a gauntlet. You guys were in the rankings for the first time in a while, but the conference, we talked endlessly, about how tough this conference is. How prepared do you feel for the tournament, even with all the oddities of this year?
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely prepared. We really didn't have a non-conference at all, so we went right into the fire of the Big Ten. There were 12 teams out of the 14 teams ranked at one point this year. It's statistically the best the conference has ever been, and it's considered one of the best conferences in the history of college basketball. So there are 9 teams here in the bubble out of the 14, and I will tell you the other 5 teams are really good too. So It's a league that really tests you and prepares you for whatever you're going to see, in March Madness. It has big guys. It plays at slow paces. Wisconsin plays at a slow pace. Michigan State plays at the fastest pace. Iowa plays a lot of zone and presses, full court. I mean, you see something different every single night, and there are great coaches and great traditions with the programs in this league. So we feel ready. I think all 9 teams in our league feel really confident and really ready that we can go and play against anybody and be prepared for that style.
Now, Coach, this isn't your first rodeo in the dance. You've been there as a player, you've been there as a coach, but, we're breaking new ground. You're going to be in a bubble. Is there anything that, is going to make this, outside of the obvious, way more of a challenge and different, taking your team into this as opposed to when you were in there and traveling from state to state, city to city, getting this tournament done?
Yeah, I mean, it's really different. Thankful again that we're having the tournament. I remember what last year was like when they canceled it. But it's been very different. They've kept us very safe. We practice indoors. We pretty much stay within our 30-person party, which is our bubble that we stay really tied to. Don't have a lot of other interaction with anyone else outside of our bubble, but we've been able to focus. Our guys are doing well. We lift weights. We have our practices. We're able to get out a little bit and run around outdoors, by ourselves. But it's challenging. But I will tell you, I don't have a lot of ticket requests, so that's the only different thing that I'm not dealing with than the last time I was there. A lot of ticket requests. Nobody can come to these games, so it's a little bit different.
I'm sure that there is something peaceful about that, even though it's a little bit eerie as well. All right, Coach, I know you can't give us any secrets, but let's talk logistics, X's and O's. We're celebrating being back in the dance, 9 teams representing the Big Ten. Your matchup, however, is with an ACC team out of Clemson. What keys to the matchup can you share with us?
Well, I tell you what, Clemson, they beat Purdue in our league, who I think is terrific in Maryland, and they beat the number 2 seed Alabama in the non-conference. So not only do they play in a great league, the ACC, they beat 2 teams from our conference. So a really tough team. Brad does an unbelievable job. He's won everywhere he's been. He was at UNC Wilmington. He was at Wright State. Now at Clemson, he's in year 11. They shoot the 3 extremely well, but they're considered one of the best defensive teams in the country. So we have to take care of the basketball, no turnovers. We have to do a great job of sharing the ball, and we have to defend three-point land exclusively. They're really, really good. Every guy comes off the bench can shoot threes. Every guy in the starting lineup can shoot threes.
Now, Coach, I mentioned it before, but like I said, you ain't new to this. You're true to this. You went to the Elite 8, Sweet 16 with UConn. You got a little history with Clemson, which is a first-round matchup. Do you have any favorite memories of your tournament runs back in your day?
Well, I can remember my last year at UConn. We were an 11 seed, and we opened with LSU and Shaquille O'Neal. So I remember the run we had when I was a senior. And we were able to beat LSU, and then we beat Xavier in the next round, and we played in the Sweet 16. Unfortunately, we ran into Duke and Grant Hill and Bobby Hurley and those guys, so it didn't bode well in the Sweet 16. But I remember, being 11 seed, it was 30 years ago. It was the same time Rutgers was in the tournament. I was playing my last game in the tournament, and great memories. I want our players to have those memories. I mean, unforgettable, those teams, the bonds those teams had. And the fun that we had, and just having, UConn at the time, UConn Nation share in the excitement of that tournament. I remember the people coming out and supporting us. It was unbelievable. Just the way Rutgers Nation, if we could have tickets, this would be unbelievable. This whole Indianapolis would be all Rutgers Scarlet. That's the only unfortunate thing about this. But I know every TV in New Jersey will be turned on tomorrow night. So I'm in New York, and it'll be turned on tomorrow night, and they'll be cheering us on.
Rutgers basketball coach on both the men's and women's side in the dance this year. Coach C. Vivian Stringer, Hall of Famer in her own right. Arella Garantes, a terrific player on the women's side. Do you guys talk at all come tournament time? I know you're obviously rooting for one another's programs, but is there any special connection?
Yeah. You know what? She's awesome. I mean, she's a Hall of Fame coach. She makes it look easy. She goes every year to the tournament, and her her players are awesome. So we have a great relationship with them. We have a lot of great sports going on at Rutgers. We have our lacrosse team's ranked. Our wrestling team sent 5 players out to the national championships. Our women's lacrosse team is ranked. Our soccer teams are doing great and ranked. We have a lot of good things going on, but Coach Stringer is a legend, and her team is really good too. They're going to make some noise in this tournament.
They are indeed.
Coach Pikiell, it's great seeing you. Good luck again in the tournament. I got you going for all my brackets, so don't let me down, please. Please, I got a little money running on it. So, we will, not just New Jersey, but the whole tri-state area is behind you, Coach.
I love it. I love it. And I look forward to being back on in a couple wins.
That's right.
Definitely.
That's right. Don't worry about it. We will have you back. We'll catch you after the break on MSG PM. We got a lot to talk about, including the first full-time NFL referee joining the ranks. Stay tuned.